I think the question you need to be asking yourself is, why do you feel lost? Before making any big life decisions, you need to understand the root of that feeling. Because if you don't know why you feel lost, then any step you take might just feel like you're running in the wrong direction. Hi guys, my name is Adriel, and for literally my entire life I've felt lost, and it wasn't only up until recently, after sitting with myself and reflecting, that I started finding some direction in life. In this video, I'm going to share how you too can find that direction and share the reflections I had that helped me. We're going to go over three main topics, so let's get into it. Number one, the meaning of life. Let's be real, life has no ultimate meaning. We're all born, we live, and then we die. But for me, that realization didn't make me depressed. It's actually kind of freeing to know that, because since there's basically no point in life, then we can see life as a blessing instead. And the fact that we get to experience life and all of its sensations. So now the question becomes, what do we want to do with our lives? And that's the beauty of it. We get to choose and we're free to write our own script. And I guess this is where we might start to feel lost in life, because we don't know what to write. This leads to the second topic, which is why we feel lost. This took me so long to figure out and realize, but we probably feel lost because of one of these four main reasons. The first, we haven't defined our own version of meaning. The second, we end up chasing goals or lives that were given to us by others. The third, we're disconnected from our desires and values. The fourth, we avoid stillness and are scared to sit alone with our thoughts. Let me explain this, because these four reasons are all linked to each other. So if we don't know our own version of meaning and what matters to us, we'll naturally latch on to other people's ideas of success, what our parents told us, what school expects, what social media glorifies. And when that happens, we chase lives or goals that are given to us by others. We might get a degree, a job, or follow a path that looks good on paper, but deep down, something feels off, and it's hard to feel fulfilled when we're not the ones who chose the direction in the first place. So then, over time, living like that disconnects us from our own desires and values. We might not even know what excites us anymore, or what kind of life would feel meaningful, because we've spent so long ignoring our own voice and not taking the time to be alone with our thoughts. And when we do finally get a quiet moment to reflect, it's uncomfortable. So we distract ourselves with scrolling, noise, busyness, and therefore leading back to not knowing our own version of meaning. So these four reasons all feed into each other. But once we break that loop by facing the stillness, sitting with our thoughts to actually think about what matters to us, and deciding what kind of life we actually want to live, then slowly we start finding some direction again. Which now leads to the third topic, finding direction. The first step, as we just discussed, is we need to be able to sit with ourselves and thoughts. So you got to start by accepting that feeling lost is normal, especially when we're starting to question everything. The next step is to define what we actually care about in terms of our values, goals, and experiences. Take some time to actually reflect on these properly. Don't rush straight into action. Take even a whole day if that's what it takes, because at the end of the day, reflecting on these is going to help define the rest of your life. And once we've done that, we can then start to take action on some of the things we reflected on. For example, you might have written down that you actually value your own health more. So instead of watching Netflix after work every day, maybe you start dedicating some time at the gym, or you start eating healthier, or maybe you value creativity. So instead of spending hours mindlessly scrolling, you start carving out time to draw, write, or just make something. The actions don't have to be big at first. What matters is that they're aligned with what you care about. And the more that we act in alignment with our values, the more direction and clarity we start to feel. We're not going to figure everything out in a week, but we will start to feel more grounded and more in tune with ourselves. Hopefully this all makes sense. This all took me such a long time to figure out. And I hope that you're actually able to reflect on this and eventually feel less lost in your life. But also, sometimes feeling lost isn't a problem. It just becomes the beginning of finding your own path, and that's okay. This is all information I personally would have loved to hear in my younger self who didn't have any guidance in life. If you found value out of this, consider liking and subscribing. I make videos about my self-discovery journey, life tips, and help young people find direction in life. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.